Good morning.
Good morning, Coach Sanderson. Good morning, Barry. Great to be part of you guys' show.
Well, we appreciate you taking time to be on with us. We know it's a big day for you and your family tomorrow with Ben going to make his decision. Just kind of tell us a second how the recruiting process has gone. How early did it start? And I know you guys are probably ready to get this thing ended so the phone can stop ringing.
Well, I tell you, it was probably around the end of Ben's ninth grade year going into his sophomore year. And the recruiting process has really been great, man. Huge difference between 1983 and 2016, I tell you. But Ben went into the recruiting process with his options wide open. You know, even though I played my ball at Bama, you know, I wanted him to make this decision, you know, from his heart. You know, that's H-E-A-R-T, not H-A-R-D. But the process has been great. As I stated earlier, a lot of change. Had an opportunity to sit down across the desk with a lot of great coaches. Of course, Alabama, LSU, Auburn, Notre Dame, and of course Georgia. So on tomorrow, decision's going to be Ben's, man. We'll see what happens.
Well,
let me ask you something. Was it hard for you to decide when you made your decision to come to Alabama? Was that something that just automatically came to mind?
That's a great question, Coach. I believe it was either 1971 or 1973 when Bama played in the Orange Bowl. I fell in love with Alabama and Coach Bryant then, and it really came down to Auburn and Alabama for me. I had a slight favoritism toward Notre Dame, but never went on an official visit. But basically, it really came down to Alabama and Auburn. So I didn't have as wide open as a recruitment as my son does now. But eventually, Bama won out because I just fell in love with Coach Bryant, man. And then Coach Kroom had a whole lot to do with that.
Yeah.
That relationship that we had. He was a great recruiter, great man, class character,
yes,
the whole 9 yards.
Wayne, yeah, he's terrific. He's a terrific guy. I guarantee he did a good job recruiting.
Wayne, I want to ask you this, and this relates to Alabama and just how they recruited your son. One thing, when we talked to Bobby Humphrey earlier in the year, he talked about when Alabama recruited Marlon, they didn't really use that Bobby played at Alabama. They didn't take that for granted. They recruited Marlon for Marlon. They put all the time and energy into it, where sometimes maybe a school would just take it for granted. Hey, the dad went there. We're going to get him. Let's go get somebody else. How hard has Alabama recruited your son?
And that's pretty much the same approach, Barry, that Coach Saban, Coach Bo Davis, and, of course, Coach Smart, when he was with us. It's pretty much the same approach that they've taken. They didn't really harp on, well, he's the son of the all-time leading tackler. They wanted to recruit him. And that's one of the things that really impressed me, because I'm not going to be able to play a down for him. I'm not going to take on a single guard for him. He's going to have to come in there and work for himself. It's interesting that you mentioned Bobby. I was talking to Bobby back during the season, and I actually asked him, what was his experience like in having a son being recruited by Bama. and he shared with me, he said, man, Marlon fell in love with Florida State, so I really don't know what's going to happen. But of course, eventually he ended up signing with Bama and has had a wonderful, couple of years. Of course, he's a red shirt. He had an excellent year this year. But that's the type of recruitment that Coach Saban has. That's the type of recruitment that Coach Saban has approached us with. Now, at the same time, one of the things I love about Coach Saban is he welcomes back the former players. Man, I think there's a misconception out there about him welcoming former players, but I can crush that right now and tell all the Alabama nation that that Coach Saban wants to see former players on campus, around campus, talking to the guys. I think that's a wonderful thing.
I could hear that conversation now. Bobby probably called Coach Saban and says, "Now, hey, Coach, now Marlon don't know I'm calling you, but now, hey, Florida State's in there better than I thought. Now we got to get this thing flipped back now. Because if I'm the dad, if I push him to Alabama, he's going to go to Florida State." So, but I want to ask you that. You're a great player, obviously drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals. Will your son listen to you? Because I can't get my son to ever listen to anything that I say as far as football is concerned. Does he listen to you when you tell him what he needs to do?
I really wonder about that sometimes, Barry. but for the most part, Ben is a real good listener. He takes things to heart. He has his moments where you may think, did he really hear what I just said? But for the most part, though, he really listens, man, and he's got a lot of class and character. I can appreciate that.
Dad,
how long did you spend when each coach came in? I mean, I don't know certain, but when Georgia came in, when Auburn came in, Alabama came in, and then they had a coaching change a little bit, maybe. One guy was coaching him, was trying to get him to go to Georgia. He switched to Alabama. Was that hard? Was that hard? As far as listening to them after they had said, why they should go to Georgia, and then all of a sudden they told you why they ought to go to Alabama. Same guy.
That's an excellent point, Coach Sanderson. And here's what I did with Ben early on. I really impressed upon him. Relationships are fine. You want that to happen, no doubt about that. But you have to fall in love with the school, and so from day one, that's the approach that he took going into his recruitment. He understood, hey, I need to get to know the coach that's recruiting me. I need to build that relationship, but overall, I need to fall in love with the school that I'm considering. But the coaching changes did cause some second thoughts.
Yeah, I know they did.
You have to be honest about that. You have to be honest about that. Absolutely.
Well, did you take the trip? I know that the rules have kind of changed where I think the parents can go with them now. Did you go out to Notre Dame with Ben on his visit out there?
Right. Ben and I went up to South Bend. His mom's, of course, a school teacher. She couldn't get away that particular weekend. But it was a wonderful trip. Notre Dame is different. Notre Dame is different. One thing I learned about those guys that I didn't know before, maybe everybody else did, but I didn't know. I didn't realize that they actually have 7 Heisman Trophy winners there at that school. Absolutely. So it was very interesting. Of course, the academics. Notre Dame don't have to pretty much take a back seat to nobody, man. We know their history, we know their tradition, but we had a great visit. I think it was about 3 weeks ago.
Well, Wayne, you just said one key thing in that sentence, and I'm telling you he's not going to Notre Dame. You know why? If Mama didn't go, then that boy ain't going to Notre Dame, because Mama's going to be a big factor in any kid's decision. So, Dad, did you catch that? Mama didn't go, so I don't think Notre Dame's going to be the pick tomorrow.
No, I don't think they are either. Mama didn't go. No, they're not. I don't know who he is.
No doubt about it. They're tremendous influences, aren't they?
Yeah, yes, they are. They better be. So tell everybody, Wayne, what you're doing now in Gordo. I know you're a pastor at a church there, but just tell everybody wants to know what's going on with Wayne Davis. We heard all about Ben. Let's talk about Wayne for a minute.
Right. After playing ball with the Cardinals for a couple of years, Coach Gene Stallings was my head coach out there. Coach Mal Moore was also out there in Phoenix. After I was done with football, me and my wife and family, we stayed in Arizona for at least 20 years. Then about 8 years ago, we moved back to Gordo. Got the calling to pastor New Home Baptist Church here in this wonderful city, and had opportunity to coach a couple of years, about 4 years actually, and then went into full-time pastoring. So that's what I'm doing now. here in Gordo, still involved in the community, have the opportunity to coach a Pop Warner team. Just help the guys out, do what I can, giving back to a place that really poured into me. I know we'll forget one of the key things that one of my high school coaches told me. That's Coach Walden Tucker. He's up in Fed now, and he said, "Son, always show character in class," and that's what I try to teach Ben. And he has a younger brother, Bennett, in the 7th grade that's coming along now. But we're pastoring here in the community, trying to help people where we can.
All right, well, Dad, anything else?
No, I can't think of anything. Congratulations on not only a great career for yourself, but doing a great job with those kids of yours, and I hope everything goes well for you tomorrow. I'm excited. I know you're excited, and it'll be a great day for you.
What time is everything tomorrow over there, Wayne?
It should be around 10 o'clock or so.
10 o'clock. So when you put Ben to bed tonight, just have a little Alabama pillow laying in there, and that'll be a little subtle message to him. But no, all seriousness, I appreciate you coming on.
Sure do.
We're not
Thanks.
going to put you in a tough situation, but we'll be eagerly watching tomorrow as you and your family have a great day with Ben deciding where he's going to spend the next 3 to 4 years.
All right, Coach Sanderson, good hearing from you again.
Thank you.
I respect you a whole lot.